Here we're going to be looking at reflection in vertical and horizontal lines. Consider the grid. Here's a horizontal line. We need to know how to reflect a shape in this horizontal line. We also need to know how to reflect shapes in vertical lines. So now let's consider this horizontal line and this triangle. We need to identify the reference points for the shape. These are usually the vertices. We reflect each of these in the mirror line as follows. Take this reference point. We take it up to the mirror line and then beyond, so that it is the same distance beyond as it was up to the mirror line. Think about your own reflection in a mirror. It appears to be the same distance behind the mirror as you are in front. So this first reference point has moved to here. Do the same with the other reference points. 3 squares up to the mirror, so 3 squares beyond, putting us here. For the final reference point, we have this far, 7 squares up to the mirror, so we go 7 squares beyond, giving us the reference point here. We can then draw the triangle. This is because the reflected points define the reflected shape. Now consider reflecting A, B, C, D in the line shown, labeling it A dashed, B dashed, C dashed, and D dashed. Once again, we need to look at each reference point and see where it goes. If we look at A, it goes 7 squares up to the mirror, so it goes 7 squares beyond. It goes to here. For D, it's 3 squares up, so 3 squares across. For C, 3 squares up, 3 squares across. And for B, 7 squares up to the mirror, so 7 squares beyond. The reflected points define the shape, so we can draw the shape. A dashed is the reflection of A. B dashed is the reflection of B. C dashed is the reflection of C. And D dash is the reflection of D. We may get a question where we're asked to find the mirror line. The technique is as follows. We start by joining corresponding points. Look at the two triangles and join the points that correspond. These 2 points, these 2 points, and these 2 points. We then want to find the midpoints. If this distance is 12 squares, the midpoint of the line will be at 6 squares from the end of either triangle. This distance is also 12, so the midpoint is here. This distance is 6. The midpoint is here, 3 squares from each point. We then draw a line through the midpoints, and this is the mirror line. 2 common lines used in questions on reflection are the x and y axes. For example, reflect the triangle P in the x-axis. Label the reflection Q. So let's consider the triangle P. This point here, when reflected in the x-axis, will go to here. Reflecting this point takes us up to the axis and an equal distance across to here. Reflecting this point, 2 squares up, 2 squares beyond takes us to here. So here is the triangle, and it's labelled Q. We now want to reflect the triangle P in the y-axis. Label the reflection R. So here is the y-axis acting as our mirror line. Consider this point. We go 1 square up to the y-axis, so we go 1 beyond. Now consider this point. We go 4 squares up, so we need to go 4 squares beyond. And for this point here, it's 5 squares up, so we go 5 beyond. These points define the triangle, which we'll label R.